Good evening, everyone. I hope you've all had the most wonderful Thanksgiving and Yarnsgiving you possibly could have. I want to start out by thanking you for spending some of your time today with us. We're thankful for each and every one of you as part of our Yarnsey family. My name, Jen Lacey, and I'm one of the owners of Wild Stitchers. The other owner is my sister-in-law, Norlene. You will get to meet Norlene later this weekend at some of our other events. The Wild Stitchers is a family owned and operated fiber arts tools business. We even have family involved with making our product. My father, my brother, my husband, and a little bit of myself, all help make our products that you will see. And as we continue to grow, we hope to add additional family makers to our list. Really excited about, Wild Stitchers and things to come. Our tools are made for either wood, acrylic, or 3D printed materials. Most of our products are made from wood. As we start to show you the tools we have, you won't be able to help but notice the beauty of the wood we use. I should point out to you that the wood you see from us has never been stained. We love that natural beauty of the wood, so we don't want to cover it up with stains. Now, some of our items will have either a sealer or a light finish on it, but that's just to protect the wood and help bring out that natural beauty. So let's get to some of the fun stuff. Small break here for me to say, please stay tuned to the end of our video to get a special promo code that will be good for the next 18 hours. Only 18 hours. It's a larger code than we've ever done before in our history of Wild Stitchers. I'm not going to tell you how much it's worth. You need to actually go to our shop, find stuff you like, and put it into the checkout to get that amount. But as I said, this is something that we've never done a code like this before. So it's amazing. Can't wait. Hope you guys enjoy it so much. So stay tuned to the end of the video and we will start to show you our featured products. And with that, I'm going to switch cameras over and so you can see the wonderful things a little bit more up close. And let's move over there so I can go through all this lovely stuff. Okay, so as I said, we're going to show you our featured products today. It's just a small list. We only have a little bit of time, so we'll go through some of these. This year, we've really expanded our line of storage tools. Let's face it. We all need to store our projects, needles, spindles, and other fun things. So whether you want to store your interchangeable needle tips in a way that makes them easier to know what size that they are and keep them all in one place, or maybe you have more than one set of interchangeable needle tips, which, hey, no judgment. Don't most of us knitters have that? And you want a way to keep those two sets in the same general place and to keep them safe. Or maybe you have a really nice spindle and you want something to store your spindle in to keep it safe while traveling or maybe sitting looking pretty on a shelf or something like that. We have something to help you with that. What about those of you that have nosy pets that always like to get into your projects and play with your yarn? Maybe you want some way to keep your projects. Maybe you want some fun way to keep those projects safe from your pets, or just if you don't have pets, just to make them look nice and have some built-in tools as you go. Well, if you said, ooh, to any of these things, we have just things for you. Let's start off by showing you our beautiful spindle boxes. Our spindle boxes, let me find the camera frame. I'm going to turn this at a little bit of an angle here. Let me me see if I can get this adjusted. So we can see more of this beautiful spindle box. Well, I'll have to just show it through frame here. So this is our spindle box. And as you can tell, it is long. We make these out of cherry and walnut wood. This one you're seeing here today is walnut. Yeah, and just check out the beauty of this walnut. You can see what I mean by this. We've got the different colorations of the walnut. It comes through the back. Look at that grain that you're seeing there. Just absolutely gorgeous. See, this is why we don't use any of, sorry about that, any stain on our product. Our spindles boxes are laser cut, and they have this stunning finger joining along the edges on the outside. Also has a nice strong latch on it. Some latches will be a little bit different than this one, so we do have a variety of latches, but it's a nice strong latch and nice strong hinges on the back to help hold up that lid for these boxes. So other ways than the latches and hinges to help keep this safe is if you open this up, you're going to notice that there's these cradles in them. And I'm showing here with 2 cradles in it. And they also have these little clips. Those clips help hold your spindle in place. So if this was to fall over or tip or something like that, your spindle's going to stay safe. You also notice there's plenty of room in here that I can put fiber in for the project that I'm spinning on. And so, you know, help keep your spindle safe. Place to store extra fiber in it. And also, maybe, you know, this actually will hold a 12-inch long spindle and a whorl up to 3 inches wide, made specifically to hold ours. But we know some of you have other spindles you want to keep safe. So maybe, let's say you have a really nice Bosworth spindle maybe. And, which, by the way, if you didn't see her earlier today, make sure you check out the replay. Maybe you have one of those beautiful Bosworth spindles, or you just purchased one and you want a way to keep that spindle safe and sound, because spindles can be expensive, but, you know, and they're nice, and, you know, it's an investment. You don't want them damaged. So if you get one of these wonderful spindle boxes, then you can keep your spindle safe. We also add in, because Bosworth spindles are shorter than ours, and other spindles are shorter than ours, we also add in a third one of these cradles that's movable. So you can set that anywhere that helps support your spindle in the box and still give you plenty of room to hold your fiber, to keep that spindle safe, and to have a way to store and display any spindle you have beautifully. So this is, again, our spindle box. We have them in walnut and cherry. This one you're seeing right here is walnut. Yeah, so that's a great way to work with your spindles. The next item I want to show you today is our interchangeable needle tip holders. And this is the interchangeable needle tip holders. And I'm going to show you that from the top. And then here's a side front view. And then our sides look like this. The other side has our wonderful logo on it. This interchangeable needle tip holder, we actually have 2 different varieties of interchangeable needle tip holders. This first one is our single set needle holder. This needle holder, as you can see, is an open design. Will look beautiful sitting on your table next to your project, and sitting next to your project. We have them in cherry and walnut. I think we have one mahogany one left. So if mahogany is your thing, you might want to get out there quickly to get it. The one I'm showing you today, this one here is cherry. You can tell by the reddish pinkish tone of the wood. Let's see. This will hold one full set of needle tips, a size 0 or 2 millimeter, up to the size 15, US 15, or 10 millimeter. And it's a beautiful way to hold your needles with it. If I do this, let's see here. Size 6. No, that wasn't a US size 6. That was a US size 10.5. So you can see your needle tip slip just right in there. The size of this will actually hold your short tips as well as your longer tips. And when I turned these to the side, you can see that there's these divots down here in the bottom. And these actually keep the tips of these safe from wandering around. Because if you didn't have those in there, your tips might wander around and kind of sit crooked in here. But because of how we have this, they sit nice and straight. And also, as I bring this closer, you'll see that the sizes are labeled at each of the set of holes. And this is to help you see what sizes you have, and where the sizes are. We've got the US size 3. Here's the size 4. And just so easy to store these in here and keep them safe and keep them easy at hand. So, fits beautifully, nicely, and a good way to keep these. This is our single set, our interchangeable needle holder. Single set, non-box. We specify non-box because you might have guessed that our next one is actually a box. So we have this needle holder. If you want a little bit more, say you've got 2 interchangeable needle sets and you want a home for both of those. There we go. You want a home for both of those. And you want to keep them in the same general place. Well, we have this interchangeable needle holder box. Bling style. Well, my dad likes to call this the blinged out box. So it's got lots of fun stuff on it. It's absolutely stunning. So we've got the finger joining that the Spindle box had on it. Again, this is laser cut. We have these in cherry wood, which you're seeing here. So we got the finger cut on it. That stunning design of light and dark because of the laser cutting. This one actually has a handle on it, so you can carry it around. We also have these beautiful designs on the corners. We have a wonderful strong latch that has a twist on it, so it keeps it closed. See how that pops open when I undo that latch. And look at this. We even have feet on it. Almost kind of like a clawfoot tub, but not quite clawfoot. Beautiful feet on it to stand up. Completely blinged out. It also has strong hinges on it like all of our boxes will have. This box is absolutely stunning, as I said. The beautiful wood in it and everything. I'm going to turn this and I'm going to lift up this lid so we can see the inside of this. So inside we've got this tray. This tray is non-removable, so it is permanent as it is. And again, it will hold 2 complete needle tip sets. It'll hold the shorter ones and the longer ones. And so it'll hold 2 full sets from size 0, 2 millimeter to size 15, 10 millimeter. So if we put some of these in here, you'll see that they fit in. Just kind of like they did in that needle holder. In the bottom of this is also those little divots to keep your tips straight. So if it doesn't seem like it's quite, you might have to just move them just a little bit to see if that tip sinks in. See how nicely these fit in there. And I'm just putting them in, so maybe I've got 2 separate sets. So I'm putting them in different holes. There's my US size 3. You know, the only other needle holders I've seen like this for interchangeable tips didn't have a size 3 in it, which is one of the reasons why we made this. We had one of our fellow peeps from Camp Yarnsie come to us and say, you know, I like this idea, but I need a size 3. I need a holder for size 3. So we made sure we had size 3 and all the sizes that we could get in here. So if I turn this to the side so you can see how those sit in there, they sit up just a little ways. They sit up just a little ways. And like I said, this looks like it might not be small enough for the small tips, but it is. So it's short enough. The inside of this is short enough for the small tips, but yet with the lid the size that it is, it's tall enough for the longer tips. Our interchangeable needle box. And see, I just closed it up. My needles are inside. And while your needles might slide while they're in there, you can see I just tip that upside down. But I open it up and look, those needle tips are right where they're supposed to be. That's the joy about these big little box. It's enclosed. If it gets knocked off the table, gets dropped, maybe you got it sitting on the edge of the table and a pet's knocked it over or a kid's knocked it over, your needles aren't going everywhere. They're all going to at least stay contained in the box as long as the latch is hooked. So it's a wonderful thing to keep all these in the same spot, which is one reason why we have the box, is because, you know, my mom said, I love the needle holders, but I need a way to keep them all together because I'm constantly hitting them, knocking them over, something like that. So we now have interchangeable needle boxes. And, you know, she's got 2 sets of interchangeable needles, so she wanted a little bit bigger than the single set. So that's our interchangeable needle box. Now, the next thing we have is let's talk about project storage. I'm not talking about project bags, you know, although many of those project bags are beauties, they're lifesavers. You know, we need them to keep track of everything, especially if you're like me and have several different projects on the needles. You know, needle project bags come in very handy. But I'm talking yarn boxes. Do you see the theme we have for this storage stuff? But yes, you did hear me, a yarn box. We have 3 different types of yarn boxes we want to show you this evening. The first 2 are going to be what's called our loaded yarn boxes. You guys may have seen these before in the past, but we've got 2 different ones. I'm going to show you this one first. And this one here is our small, let's get that straight for you. There you go. Our small loaded yarn box. And we called this a loaded yarn box because it's loaded with everything you need. Well, okay, many of the things you may need. Some of the stuff you got to bring yourself to this box, like, you know, your needles and stuff like that. But this yarn box is wonderful because it will hold the equivalent of 1 cake of yarn. So it'll hold 1 cake of yarn. And do I have one handy here? You know what? I'm going to drop my gnome in here just so you can give it a size reference. So it'll hold 1 cake of yarn or 1 gnome. It will also hold all of your other fun things, your needles, your swatch gauges, your scissors, tapestry needles, whatever it is you may need. That can be held in here. But why it's our loaded yarn box is because if you look at the front here, we've got a small ruler. On each of the sides, we've got your needle gauge. So you don't have to have a separate needle gauge with this box. You've got it right here. These are your smaller. This is size 0 through 10. And if we go to the other side here, then you have size 10.5 through 19. I mean, big needle sizes. The back, you may have seen this go through. We've got our yarn guide on here. This also has beautiful fingerwork design, that contrasting color, so you can see that it's laser. And in the front of all of our boxes, or all of our loaded yarn boxes, I should say, we've got a great laser etched design. You'll have to check online to see all the different designs we have. We've got the Celtic knots, we've got Tree of Life. Sometimes we'll have like knitting sheep on there. So you have to go online and see what we have in stock. If you've got a design that you like and you really want one of these boxes, but you don't want the design that we have, talk to us. Let us know. See what we have available and everything, or what we can get for you. So we can do a custom design on this if you'd like. These boxes, the small loaded yarn boxes are, I believe we have some walnut. I know we have cherry. The one I'm showing you here today is cherry. So this is our small loaded yarn box. Now, I'm calling something small. You have to think that maybe we have a bigger one, which we do. We've got our loaded yarn box. Now, if I use that same gnome in this yarn box, look at how much extra room there is. I can even put another bigger gnome in this yarn box as well. So you can see this is a 2 gnome box. Actually, it's probably a 3 gnome box if I put them in there nicely. But anyway, you can see the size of this. And if I grab a couple hanks of yarn here, now these aren't wound or anything. And if I just kind of ball that up a little bit, and you can see that I can easily fit 2 hanks of yarn in there. So imagine with those caked up, fit beautifully in there. Again, this is our loaded yarn box. So it's got everything on it that our small loaded yarn box had, only just a little bit larger. So with this loaded yarn box, we have a 6-inch ruler. We have a cool design. This is that Tree of Life design we have. Still have these beautiful, stunning finger joints. Each of the sides have needle gauges in them. So this again is 0 through 10. There's that yarn guide. And then there's the other needle gauges. This is the 10.5 through 19. So the large sizes. This is wonderful because my favorite thing to use this box for is I love knitting 2 at a time socks. This will hold both of my cakes for my socks. It'll hold my needles. It'll hold 2 small cakes for contrasting heels and toes and cuffs. It'll hold my scissors. It'll hold my, it may stick out a little bit, but it'll also hold my heel to toe ruler. That's another one of our products that you'll see later this weekend. So it will hold many different things in it. Beautiful thing. It'll sit nicely on a table next to you. It'll be a great piece just to keep out on the table when you're working on it, when you're not working on that project, but you don't want to store it away. So lots of good things for these loaded yarn boxes. So now we've got one additional yarn box to show you. This one is new. Haven't seen these yet here at Camp Yarnsie, but this is a full out yarn box. So we've heard from many people, and we know that, there's people out there that have pets that like to get into their project bags, project bowls, yarn bowls, and play with your yarn. Well, this is a way to keep your pets out of your yarn. So this is a fully covered box. We do have, again, a nice strong latch on it to help keep it closed. This is what most of our latches look like now. It's nice and strong, but still looks nice. It's got these strong hinges on the back to help keep that lid open when you want to have the lid open. And again, you know, this one is laser cut. We've got this beautiful finger joint work. We've got a laser etched design on the front. Again, these designs differ. We do have these in walnut and cherry. The one I'm showing you right now is walnut. Nice, beautiful chocolate brown color. And on the end, we've got 2 holes in the top for yarn guides. So you can stick your yarn up through it. That way it's not open anymore. When I open up this box, you can see it's pretty good size in there. You know, it's close to the size of our, it's actually bigger than the size of our small loaded yarn box. So you can see that that small loaded yarn box fits right in there. If I put my gnome in here again, you can see how much room we have. Here's the bigger gnome. You want to see the bigger gnome. Yeah, there's still quite a bit of room in there. So lots of room. This is a great way to keep your yarn project enclosed. You can open it up, stick your project in there if it's not a large project, and close it up when you're not in use. Keeps your pets out of your projects. Well, you guys are probably sitting here wondering, this is all great. This is beautiful. We want to go buy it now. What's your promo code? So our promo code is Blue Finger. That's BLUEFINGER. And if you've been watching me throughout the thing, you notice I have a blue finger, which is, you know, why your code is Blue Finger. Just remember, Blue Finger. All one word, no spaces. BLUEFINGER. And this promo code is thanks very much to my kids one of my kids who decided he wanted to have his blue hair touched up. And I did not notice there was a hole in my glove until I took it off after coloring his hair and realized that one finger is very blue. So, Blue Finger is the promo code. Go to our Etsy shop. Pick out all the beautiful things that you want. There's more things in there than what I've showed you today. Today was only featured products. And, you know, check out, use that promo code of Blue Finger and get our amazing discount for this Yarns Giving Day here at Camp Yarnsie. This code is only good till 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday, November 26th. So you've got 18 hours to be using it, or roughly about 17 and a half hours right now to be using it. We also have 3 very exciting new products that we are going to be debuting here at Camp Yarnsie this weekend. It will be first seen this Saturday, November 27th, during our live virtual store at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you need to register or need a link to see this program, you can go to the Camp Yarnsie website, yarnsie.com, and take a look at it. So we also have some other fun and exciting things this weekend that we'll be doing. Please join us for our live virtual shop. Please join us for scavenger hunt, which is always fun. This will be the 3rd time I think we've hosted a scavenger hunt here at Camp Yarnsie. So we're super looking forward to it. So, you know, again, to check out our schedule or a schedule of any other events going on at Camp Yarnsie this weekend, head out to the website, yarnsie.com. And again, we want to thank you guys so very much for taking time out of your day today to spend with us and to spend with the rest of the Camp Yarnsie family and friends. So enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the weekend, and we will see you all soon. Bye, everyone.